Once upon a time, there were three little girls who went to the police academy.
In the late 70s, Charlie's Angels exploded onto television screens, changing the face of primetime forever.
Morning, Bosley. Good morning, Angels.
Morning, Charlie.
These women weren't just detectives, they were icons, commanding attention with every hair flip and high kick. But while the show dazzled with glamour and grit, time would write a far more somber chapter for some of its stars.
Farrah Fawcett died today, losing a hard-fought battle with anal cancer.
Today, we rewind the clock, step back into that sun-soaked world of mystery and miniskirts, and remember the unforgettable Charlie's Angels actors who have died. You could walk into any teenage bedroom in the late 70s and know instantly, there she was, that iconic red swimsuit poster, that sun-kissed flip, that smile. Farrah Fawcett wasn't just Jill Monroe. She was the moment. The all-American blonde Aaron Spelling and Leonard Goldberg, dreamed up for Charlie's Angels, came to life the second Farrah stepped on screen. As the athletic, free-spirited Jill, she radiated a charisma that couldn't be contained.
I love you, Jill.
You love a romantic image. The pirate and his lady. The heroine you created in your own mind.
But Farrah, like her character, was always chasing the next adventure. After just one season, she stunned the world, leaving the show amid a storm of contract battles and tabloid headlines. Jill, they told us, had left to race cars. We believed it, because Farrah was always meant to blaze her own trail. Her early film career faltered, but she roared back in the 80s, shattering expectations in The Burning Bed and Small Sacrifices.
They want me to confess to something I didn't do.
Earning Emmy nods and silencing doubters. Off-screen, her romance with Lee Majors, then her long partnership with Ryan O'Neal, kept her in the spotlight. But it was her final fight. Her raw, public battle with cancer, captured in Farrah's story, that revealed her deepest strength. Farrah Fawcett died in 2009 at 62.
Farrah Fawcett died today, losing a hard-fought battle with anal cancer.
Leaving behind not just a poster, but a legacy. Beauty with grit, a trailblazer who made us believe women could be both fierce and vulnerable. The first angel, and forever unforgettable. In 1977, Charlie's Angels delivered an episode that shimmered with real Hollywood magic, the Sammy Davis Jr. kidnap caper.
Someone is trying to kidnap Sammy Davis.
Not only did Sammy Davis Jr. play himself, but he also stepped into the shoes of Herbert Brubaker III, a look-alike gangster with a mischievous streak. The Angels are swept into a whirlwind of glitz and chaos at a Beverly Hills charity event, where a celebrity look-alike contest sets the stage for mistaken identity and a daring kidnapping plot. Only Sammy could pull off this double-act, singing, joking, and dodging danger with effortless cool. The chemistry between him and the Angels? Pure television gold.
What?
Townsend Associates. I'm working for you.
You're working for me?
And as a special touch, his real-life wife, Alta Vice Davis, played his on-screen partner, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. Sammy Davis Jr., legend of the Rat Pack, barrier breaker, and master entertainer, left us in 1990 at just 64, succumbing to throat cancer.
The entertainment world suffered another blow today as Mr. Entertainer Sammy Davis Jr. died after an 8-month battle with throat cancer.
But for one unforgettable night, he didn't just guest star on Charlie's Angels, he owned the spotlight, leaving a legacy as dazzling as the episode itself.
nice massage. Your body in our hands is money in the bank.
Sure, the Angels dazzled with undercover flair, but every fan knew the heart of the Townsend agency wasn't just the women in disguise. It was Bosley. John Bosley, with that crinkled smile and gravelly voice, always ready with a dad joke, a kind word, or a goofy disguise.
Running a massage parlor. Now that's one fantasy I've never considered.
David Doyle played him perfectly. He was the bridge between Charlie and the Angels, the soul behind the scenes. Doyle and Jacqueline Smith were the only cast members in every single episode. His presence the show's constant through all its changes. He longed for bigger moments, but even in the background, he was unforgettable. Especially in those rare episodes where Bosley stepped forward, revealing depth behind the humor.
Oh, yeah, much. Good old dependable Bosley, buried under a pile of paperwork.
Off-screen, Doyle's heart belonged to the stage, yet he kept fans smiling on TV in shows like Fantasy Island and as the beloved Grandpa Lou on Rugrats.
You see, Santa may be old, but he's as sharp as a toothpick.
When he died of a heart attack in 1997 at just 67, it felt like we'd lost family. For those who grew up with Charlie's Angels, David Doyle wasn't just the man who answered Charlie's calls. He was the warm uncle, the comic relief, the glue that held the team together. David, your laughter and heart are never forgotten.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Picture this, Season 5 of Charlie's Angels. The door swings open and in strides Julie Rogers, tough, streetwise, and radiating a confidence that could stop traffic. That was Tanya Roberts, the last Angel to join the original team, bringing a jolt of grit and glamour that still electrifies reruns today.
Welcome aboard. Thanks. That goes for me, too.
She wasn't just another pretty face. Tanya's sly smile and rebellious spark made Julie unforgettable, a fighter who stood shoulder to shoulder with legends. Off-screen, she was Victoria Lee Blum, born in the Bronx, New York, Brooklyn, tough in spirit, Hollywood-bound in ambition. After Angels, Tanya became a cult icon in The Beastmaster, swung into the wild as Sheena, and faced off with Bond himself in A View to a Kill.
Horses.
Oh, no, I'm not interested in horses.
Later, she charmed a new generation as Midge Pinciotti on that 70s show.
Woman warrior meetings here every week.
Because none of the other feminist husbands will let them.
But in January 2021, after collapsing while walking her dogs, Tanya Roberts died at 71 from sepsis caused by a urinary tract infection, a sudden tragic end to a life that burned bright.
Film and television actress Tanya Roberts has died.
She may have only had one season as an angel, but Tanya's legacy is eternal. Her presence, still fierce, still unforgettable, every time Charlie calls. If you tuned in to the final season of Charlie's Angels, you might have blinked twice when that mountain of a man strode onto the sun-drenched beaches of Waikiki Angels. Bearded, burly, and with eyes full of kindness, yes, that was Dan Haggerty, the legendary Grizzly Adams, making a rare and unforgettable visit to the Angels' world. He wasn't the usual face in Charlie's sleek, high-octane universe. Instead, Dan brought something raw and real, a warmth and ruggedness that felt like a breath of wild mountain air. In a show driven by glamour and danger, his presence was a reminder that even in Hollywood, the wilderness still has a heart. Off-screen, Dan's life was as dramatic as any script. He survived devastating motorcycle crashes, battled legal storms, and faced down cancer with the same quiet strength he brought to every role. Through it all, he never lost his gentle spirit. Dan Haggerty died of spinal cancer in 2016 at 74. Though his time with the Angels was brief, his presence lingers like a friendly bear hug in the middle of a chase scene. Unexpected, unforgettable. If you blinked during Charlie's Angels, you might have missed him. But when Dean Martin stepped into the story, the whole show changed. Not just a fleeting cameo, Martin starred as Frank Howell, the suave, world-weary owner of the Tropicana Casino, at the heart of the two-part Angels in Vegas. He wasn't just in the orbit of the Angels. He was their reason for being there, drawing them into a web of danger and old-school glamour. Most of us knew him as the Rat Pack's smoothest crooner, a comedy legend, and the swingin' Matt Helm. But seeing him share the screen with the Angels was something special, a collision of classic Hollywood charisma and the electric energy of 70s television. He even sparked a romance with Sabrina, proving that his charm was timeless. In his final years, Martin retreated from the spotlight, battling emphysema and lung cancer. He passed away quietly on Christmas Day, 1995, at 78, his legacy forever etched in music, movies, and that unforgettable Vegas episode. Because when Dean Martin smiled, the world smiled back, even if it was just through the TV screen. If you watched Charlie's Angels in its heyday, you remember the parade of smooth operators in shady suits. But when Bo Hopkins rolled in first as Bo Creel in 1976, then as Wes Anderson in 1979, the show felt different. It was as if a gust of dust from the back roads had blown right into Beverly Hills. Best known for American Graffiti and The Wild Bunch, Bo brought that same battered, dangerous, utterly real energy to the Angels universe. Even as a guest star, he made the world of Charlie's Angels feel more lived in, more grounded. He didn't just play those roles, he embodied them. Off-screen, Bo Hopkins built a quietly powerful career, never chasing headlines but always present on-screen tough guy, southern drawl, kind eyes. His filmography is a map of American cinema's rough edges, from westerns to thrillers, always leaving a mark. Bo Hopkins died in 2022 at 84, after a heart attack in Los Angeles, his wife by his side. He may not have been part of the Townsend Agency, but to fans he was the rebel spirit who brought grit to the glam just for a moment, but enough to make it unforgettable. When you think of Charlie's Angels, you picture sun-soaked stakeouts and glamorous disguises. But sometimes the Angels faced a force of nature, a man with true grit. Enter Robert Loggia. In Season 5's Tony's Boys, Loggia brought his trademark intensity as Michael Durano, a tough, no-nonsense ally whose presence electrified the screen. With that gravelly voice and steely gaze, Loggia made you believe real trouble had arrived. Fans knew him from Scarface, Big, and his Oscar-nominated turn in Jagged Edge. But on Angels, he proved he could fit seamlessly into any world, even one of feathered hair and high drama. Off-screen, Loggia's career spanned 6 decades, marked by relentless work ethic and unforgettable roles. He battled Alzheimer's with courage, passing away in 2015 at 85. For Charlie's Angels fans, Robert Loggia will always be the man who brought just the right edge of danger to the glam.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little girls who went to the police academy.
You never saw his face, but if you were a Charlie's Angels fan, you knew that voice-smooth, commanding, the perfect blend of charm and intrigue. Charlie Townsend, the enigmatic boss behind the speakerphone, was brought to life by John Forsythe. The legend goes, when the original actor, Gig Young, arrived too drunk to record, Aaron Spelling made a desperate midnight call. Forsythe, still in his slippers, raced to the studio, and in a single late-night session, became the voice that launched a phenomenon.
Morning, Bosley. Good morning, Angels.
Morning, Charlie.
Forsythe's velvet tones became the show's heartbeat. He never appeared on set, rarely met the Angels, yet he was their invisible anchor week after week. Off-screen, he was a television icon, later ruling the 80s as Blake Carrington in Dynasty, and even returning as Charlie for the blockbuster films decades later.
Good morning, Angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
He passed away in 2010 at 92 from pneumonia, after a long, remarkable life.
That John Forsythe has died after a long battle with colon cancer.
But to us, he'll always be the man behind the speaker, our unseen guardian, the phantom boss we trusted with every mission. Rest well, Charlie. Mission accomplished. Christopher Lee Cinema's Prince of Darkness once crossed paths with Charlie's Angels, and television was never the same. In Season 5's Angel in Hiding, Lee towered over the screen as Dale Woodman, a sinister tycoon pulling strings in the shadows of the modeling world. The Angels faced danger every week, but this was different. For one unforgettable episode, they matched wits with gothic royalty. Lee's presence was electric. A villain whose gravitas turned even the campiest plot into high drama. Fans watching at home saw more than just a guest star. They witnessed a legend, the man who redefined evil from Dracula to Saruman, now trading fangs for fashion and menace for mystery. Beyond that night, Lee's legacy was unmatched. Over 250 screen credits, a knighthood, and even a late-life turn as a heavy metal frontman. When he passed in 2015 at 93, it was said he spent his final evening watching The Lord of the Rings, sharing stories with hospital staff, a poetic end for a man whose life was pure cinema. For Angels fans, his brief appearance was more than a cameo. It was a brush with the immortal. Just one episode, but unforgettable. Remember that grizzled face, the piercing blue eyes, and that unmistakable Texas drawl? L.Q. Jones-born Justus Ellis McQueen Jr. was one of those rare character actors who, even in a single episode, left an indelible mark. On Charlie's Angels, he brought his rugged authenticity to 2 memorable guest roles, Dan Jarvis in Angels in the Backfield, and Sam Mason in An Angel's Trail.
I'm sorry, you just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Jones's legacy stretches far beyond television. He was a favorite of director Sam Peckinpah, appearing in classics like The Wild Bunch and Ride the High Country, and he directed the influential cult film A Boy and His Dog, which earned him a Hugo Award and inspired generations of filmmakers. With a career spanning over 5 decades and more than 400 TV appearances, L.Q. Jones's presence was a fixture in westerns and action films, always bringing a gritty realism to every role. On July 9th, 2022, he passed away at 94, leaving behind a legacy that resonates with fans and filmmakers alike, a true original whose work will never fade. They were more than just angels. They were symbols of strength, sass, and trailblazing femininity, etched into pop culture history. But as the years passed, some of their lights faded too soon, leaving behind legacies wrapped in nostalgia and stardust. Which angel left the biggest mark on your heart? Let us know in the comments, and if you want to keep uncovering the hidden stories behind Hollywood's golden age, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. More timeless tales await, and this family of classic TV lovers wouldn't be the same without you. Until next time, keep your memories bright and your halos polished.